What is up? In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to build your own castle. To do this, I'll be breaking down the video into these sections. If you're new to the channel, be sure to stick around to the end where I'll be showcasing a castle that I built using everything I'm about to teach you in this tutorial. The location I've chosen for the showcase is in this area on the island. So with that said, let's get to it. Alright, so first up is going to be the castle walls, and I'm just going to start off by placing a stone foundation base, and I think for this tutorial I'm just going to extend this out 5. When you're actually building your own castle, you can make the wall however long or tall that you want it, but like I said, just for this tutorial, this is just going to be extended out 5 foundations. So from here, I'm then going to take wall pieces, and I'm going to extend it upwards, and I think I'm just going to extend it up by 4. Yeah, that looks right. And like I said, you can make it out however tall you want it. So once the front portion of your wall is built up like this, we're going to hop around to the back side of the foundation. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to build this up. Alright, so now once that's built up, I'm then going to take the stone ceiling pieces and I'm just going to run these right along the top portion of the wall. Once that's done, I'm then going to take some more stone wall pieces, but I'm going to cycle over to this stone doorway. And I'm just going to run a row of stone doorways right across the top front portion of the wall. From here, I'm then going to take these stone beams, and I'm going to run these along the same areas where we just placed those doors. I'm going to run another row on the back side of the wall, just like that. And then from here, depending on whether or not you're on a private server that has structure placement collision enabled, you can then take stone quarter wall panels. You can run a row right along just like this. Or if you're on official server, just delete these real quick. Alright, if you're on official server, you can take the quarter wall panel, but you're going to cycle over to the stone railing piece. And then you're just going to flip it. And then you're just going to place a row just right along there, just like that. And from there, that'll complete the walls. Alright, moving on to stairs. This is actually going to work for both official and private servers that have the placement structure collision enabled. So we're going to start off, we're just going to attach a foundation. And this is going to be our landing portion where the stairs lead up to on top of the wall. So we're just going to place that here. And you're just going to build up with walls, the very top portion of your wall. Then going to take a stone ceiling, you're just going to place it right there. And then if you already have your wall built up, we're just going to delete that stone pillar right there. And then from here, we're going to extend outwards some more stone foundations just like that. And then we're just going to take these walls and we're going to kind of like the best way to explain it is just kind of step them downwards. So we're not going to place one there. So then we move on to the next one. That'll be 2. This last one will be just the 1. And then from here, I'm going to take the stone sloped wall piece, and we're just going to run these just right up to the top portion of the wall. Here, I screwed that up. Let's see, let's pick that up. Let's try this again. Alright, and then the last thing that you need to do is you just take these stone stair pieces and you just run these all the way up. And sometimes it can be finicky. I'm still trying to get used to the whole building system on Ark. There you go, perfect. And once you got that placed, that'll complete stairs. Alright, next up is towers. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do square and rectangular towers and the circular towers as well. The first up is going to be our square and rectangular towers. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to go, I'm just going to do a 2x2. And the base of the tower, you can make it however large you want, whether it is a square or rectangle, it doesn't matter. It's going to be built the same way. But yeah, so I'm just going to start off with a 2x2. From here, I'm going to extend upwards with these walls. And you can make this however high you want as well. For this tutorial, I'm just going to extend it upwards 4. Alright, now once that's done, we need to figure out where our entrance is going to be. So I'm going to just place a door here. From here, I'm going to take stone pillars. I'm going to run them all the way up on the corners of this tower. All right, now from here, depending on whether you're playing on private servers with structure placement collision enabled or official servers, is going to determine how to build this top portion of the tower. When it comes to official servers, these wall pieces will prevent you from placing the ceiling pieces here for whatever reason. I have no idea. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to just extend upwards with the pillars just one more. And then from here, you can take these stone ceiling pieces. You're just going to place these around here just like that. And then once those are placed, you're going to take these stone wall pieces, and you're just going to place these right on top of your walls. So yeah, like I said, for whatever reason, the walls and window pieces will restrict you from placing the ceilings, but the ceilings won't restrict you from placing these walls or window pieces. So now from here, the tops are going to be similar to how you did the walls. So I'm just going to place some doors all the way around the edges of these ceiling pieces. Alright, so now I'm going to take these stone beams, put another layer around the edges of these ceiling pieces. And then for official servers, I'm going to take these stone railings, we're going to flip those upside down, place them like that. So that's going to be how you're going to cap the official servers. If you're playing on the private servers with structural placement collision enabled, you can take these stone quarter wall pieces. You can go just like that. Now let's jump right on the inside, and we're going to have to build up to here. So what I'm going to do, place a couple of ceiling pieces on the inside right where our windows are at. And then I'm going to take this stone hatch frame. We're just going to place that there. Let's see. I'm then going to take stone ladders. And sometimes these ladders are a pain to place too. Sometimes they want to connect, sometimes they don't. All right, there we go. The ladders were being a pain for me. So what I ended up just doing, I had to place the hatch frames all the way down and just connect these ladders to the hatch frames and then just delete them after the fact. So now from here, place more ladders. At least this time will be a little bit easier. Snap that right there just like that. And then the top portion, I'll take a stone reinforced cellar door. I'll just place it just like that. So yeah, so depending on what server you're playing on, you can go this route or this route. For this tutorial though, see, I'm going to delete these real quick. And I'm just going to finish off the top of the tower with these stone quarter wall panels. Alright, and that's going to complete the square stone tower. Alright, so next up is going to be the round tower. So we're going to start off by forming a hex base using these wedge pieces. And then once those are placed, I'm then going to take the square pieces and we're going to snap these to the sides of the actual wedge pieces. And then we're going to follow up by placing more wedge pieces in between the square foundations that we just placed. Now, when it comes to the round towers, you can make your base as large as you want. And if you're going to expand outwards more than just this, I'd switch up the base every time. So, you know, for here, for example, we have the wedge piece. So I'm going to attach the square piece to these ones. And then I'm going to add wedge pieces. Let's see, there we go. I'm going to add wedge pieces in between here. And these are technically going to snap off the square pieces. And then the next layer, like I said, you're gonna want to change it up each layer you extend outwards. So next layer, I'm gonna take the square pieces and I'm gonna attach these to these wedge pieces, and then attach these wedge pieces to this square piece. So like I said, you're just gonna switch it up every layer that you add out. But now for this tutorial, I'm just only going to extend it out to just these first 2 layers. Let me delete this this portion real fast. All right, so once you get your base of your tower placed, you're then going to take these stone walls and you're just going to extend them upwards however high you want it. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to extend these up 4 high. You're going to want to do this all the way around the base. All right, so now once those are placed, if you remember from the square towers, rather than extending your tower all the way up, you're going to place these pillar pieces all the way around. You're going to just snap them just to the top of the walls, because we're going to be placing more ceiling pieces on top of the pillars, and you don't want, like, for example, like this wall to obstruct the placement. So we're just going to place these all the way around, just like this. And then from here, we're going to take the stone ceiling pieces, and you're just going to connect 2 right here, just like this. So you're going to want to make sure that at least these 2 are going to be facing the same direction. And then I'm going to take, let's see, this wedge ceiling piece. I'll place one just like that. And then going to take a square ceiling piece. Then going to place 3 more wedge pieces just like that. Do the square piece again, another wedge. Let's see, 2 more square pieces, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So just the same layout. All right. So once those are placed, that should form a different kind of rounded structure. So you're technically working with 2 different builds within the same build, if that makes sense. So once all of those are placed, I'm then going to take, let's see, these window pieces. I'm just going to add another layer just around, just like this. All right, I'm then going to take another layer, and these are going to be the stone beams. So we're just going to take the pillars, we're going to flip them horizontal. We're just going to work our way around. And we're going to be placing these just right on the top portion of the wall, and the same placement of where your windows are at. So we're just going to add a ring all the way around. And then from here, this top portion is going to be similar to all the other towers, whether it's on official, you have to build it the same way that all the previous structures that we've built already are built, or private server with building placement collision, you can build it that way too. So just for this tutorial, I'm gonna be placing the same way when it comes to the private servers, so you can merge these pieces. So we're just going to go a layer of these door frames all the way around. I'm then going to take these stone quarter walls. And then I'm going to take another layer of these stone beams. All right, and that's going to do it for like the topper portion. And we're going to fill in the top here shortly, because there's a couple of ways we can go about doing that. But first, we're going to jump to the bottom, and we're gonna work our way from the bottom upwards for like the interior of the structure. So first off, just going to figure out where our entrance is going to be. So I'm just going to place this double door right here. Throw the door in here. Let's see. Oh, we got a Pegomastics. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to kill all those because, funny story, one of those stole my assault rifle in PvP mode when I was out on a raid. So I absolutely despise that dinosaur. Absolutely despise it. So anyway, moving on to the inside. There's a couple of ways you can do the inside. You can add ladders, stairs, whatever you want, leading up to the top. When it comes to the rounded structures, I actually like doing the more of like the rounded stairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place these wedge pieces. And you're going to be working off of whatever the layout to the floor is. So if you have a wedge piece for the floor, you're going to use a wedge piece right above that portion. So I'm going to place one here. We're going to jump up one level. We're going to do the same here. Jump up another level. And then we're going to do one right here. And then from here, I'm going to take these stone stair pieces, and we're just going to place these. Oh. There we go. We're just going to place these just like this all the way down to the floor. All right, now once the stairs are placed, and then I'm then going to take these stone railing pieces. I'm just going to connect them to the stairs. Perfect. So now from here, we're just going to fill in our floor. So once again, like I said, whatever the foundation is, that's going to be the shape that you're going to use for the ceiling piece. So square foundation, so square ceiling piece, and then, like I said, we're just going to go around just like this. All right, and then let's add some more railings right here. And then now for the top, like I said, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. So, like I said earlier, it's technically two different builds kind of merged into one. So you have like the bottom portion of the tower, which is one build, but this cap, the top of this tower is going to be a different shape. So you're not going to be able to base your ceiling placement off of this this layout. So when it comes to the top, the layout's going to be, and it's going to be easier. So like for here, we're just going to take these wedge pieces and we're just going to build these over just like this on both sides. And then we're going to place these square ceilings just like that. Now, if you want to leave the tower open just like this, what you can do is you can just add like a hatch frame like right here and attach a ladder, and that'll give you access to the top of this tower. But if you want to get more decorative, we're going to add kind of like a sloped roof to the top portion of this tower. So we're actually going to have to jump back over, and we're going to have to build off of this bottom portion on top of this portion of the build. Now, just by saying it, I can't snap, the game won't let me snap the pieces that I need to the bottom section. So I can't place like this here on top of this piece. Or maybe I can. Hold on, I might be lying. Let me see here. I might be able to snap it right here. Oh, I lied. So apparently you can. But for whatever reason, if you're having a hard time placing and snapping these quarter wall panels to these pieces, another way that you can do it, jump around here, is you can take a ceiling piece and you can just build out just like that. You can then take the wall, or a wall piece, and you can build up just like this, and then you build back just like that. I know it can get kind of confusing, and you build right back down. And then we're going to be using quarter wall panels, so I'm just going to take these quarter wall panels. I'm going to build it just like that. So now these quarter wall panels should be connected to this bottom window piece. So once that's there, I can then delete everything that I don't need. So boom. So that should stay just like that. But now the easier way that I just found out while recording this tutorial, I'm going to take these quarter wall panels, and if you just look right at the top portion of this window piece and you place your stuff, that should snap it perfect. Yeah, that snaps right to the areas that I need it to be placed. So we're just going to do this all the way around the this tower build real quick. All right. Now from here, we're going to be adding our sloped wall, or our sloped ceiling pieces, and we're going to be connecting these to these quarter walls. So I'll just start off, and I'll be placing the square stone roof piece. Just be going around just like this. And then I'm going to take the wedge roof pieces. I'm going to be placing these in these gaps. And then we're going to be placing more of these wedge ceiling pieces right on top. And we're going to be connecting these to the square slope ceiling pieces. All right, now from here, and this is optional at this point. I think it looks a little better, but if you go around and you place stone railings right on top of these quarter wall panels, I don't know, I just think it just adds a little bit more pop to the build. So we're going to go around here. All right, and then last thing to complete kind of like this tower, I actually like to paint the roof. So just going to paint these pieces right here. We're going to make them like a dark blue. All right, and once your roof is painted, that's going to complete the rounded tower tutorial. All right, so next up is the gatehouse. And you're probably wondering why I have a square and round tower already built. And I'm actually going to show you two different ways to build a gatehouse. And the first way, it's actually going to be pretty simple. So you're actually just going to kind of build your gate through a wall that's in between towers, if that makes sense. So, for example, you know, I got my square, I got my round tower, and we're just going to build a gatehouse right in between. So this wall is going to be 4 foundations long. And right in the middle of the wall, we're just going to add these stone gateways. We're going to just do that to both sides. From here, I'm going to add stone walls. I'm just going to build this up to the top portion of the gate. And then, right at the top, I'm going to take the stone ceiling. I'm going to run a row right across the top. And then I'm just going to connect both towers. I'm just going to add doors, and whatever one, you know, works for you. So I wonder, oh, there it goes. So I'm just going to use the double doors to connect both towers. And then I'm going to add a row of windows. There you go. So yeah, I just added a row of windows right across the top. From here, I'm going to place another row of ceiling pieces. And then I'm also going to connect the towers with more door frames. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a smaller door frame instead. Alright, then from here, let's add our doors to the door frames. And then the top portion is just going to be similar to, you know, the wall tutorial that I showed right at the beginning of the video. So there could be a couple ways that you can do it, whether it's official or private server. So for this tutorial, I'll just do the private server version, so where we can actually merge the pieces. So we'll just do a row of these door frames. We'll then add these quarter walls. Then I'll take these stone beams. We'll add a layer up front, and then we'll add a layer on the back end. And then if you want, you can even add like the windows, these windows right here. And I like to rotate them to where if you open them, they end up opening upwards. Hope if I could select the right thing. There it goes. So when you actually open them from the inside, they got like a cool, like fortified look to the gate. So then from here, we're gonna add, I'm just gonna take stone foundations, and I'm gonna add one foundation to each side of the gate on the exterior part of your castle, because we're actually gonna turn these into like whether it's gonna be like a planter or a place where you can put like your banners or something, but it's just more for like decorative purposes. Because then I'm gonna take the stone railing, connect these to the edges. Then from here, take some stone stairs, place those right there. And then I can take the stone reinforced gate, and I can place that right here. So that's one way to build a gatehouse. Now, if you don't want to build a gatehouse that's connected to like two different towers and you want to make it its own standalone version of a gatehouse, you can, it's basically going to be its own standalone tower. So like in this instance, I would build like a 3x4 right in the middle of a wall. So let me get rid of this real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so like I said, I got my 3x4 base, and this is basically just gonna be a bigger rectangular tower essentially. And when it comes to a gatehouse though, I wouldn't extend it really any further than 3 foundations, just so you can kind of center it up to the wall. If you go any bigger outwards, I think the gate would look weird, but you know, it's your preference. So if that's something that you want to do, or you have a certain idea, you know, like I said, there's no technically wrong way to do this. So for the tutorial, so I got my 3x4. So I'm just gonna take a gate. I'm gonna place one here. Place another one here. I'm then gonna take my stone walls. We're gonna build upwards. All right, now from here, I'm gonna take the stone ceilings. And I'll just place these around. And if you want, you can leave a gap here if you want to add like a murder hole or something along those lines, or you can fill it in. But I think it'd be cool for, you know, for a gatehouse. I'm gonna leave this open, and I'm actually gonna make this like a murder hole. So I'm just gonna take stone beams, and I'm just gonna go around the edges of these ceiling pieces like that. So anybody that's inside the gate can look down and fire at whoever is attacking or whatnot who's actually inside this structure. So we're just going to leave it just like that. From here, I'm then going to take my stone pillars, and I'm going to attach these to the corner of the gatehouse. And we're going to build that up just one, just like that. Now from here, I'm going to take some more stone ceilings, and I'm going to connect these to the actual pillars. We're just going to be forming another rectangle all the way around. And then at this point, I'm going to be taking some window pieces. I'm just going to be adding these right to the front of the gate. I'll be doing another row in the back of it. And I'm going to be filling the in-between with door pieces and wall pieces. So maybe adding a door frame here. Be doing another one on the other side, so this door frame leads right out onto your wall. And the other spots I'm just going to fill in with wall pieces. All right, and then from here we're gonna cap it off similar to the towers. So we'll be taking the bigger door frames. We're gonna be going around the edges of these ceiling pieces. Then gonna be taking the quarter wall panel or your railing pieces, depending on what kind of server you're playing on. You'll be going around the edges with these pieces. They're going to be taking these stone beams, going around the edges as well. All right, now from here, to get on top of the gatehouse, if you just want to leave it flat, you can just easily just add a ladder. I'm just going to connect this right there. I'll take the cellar door. We'll add that here. And then the remainder can be stone ceilings. So you can do that, or you can add, you know, a roof, you know, whatever you want to do to spice up your build. But I think I'm just going to leave it like that just for this tutorial. We're going to jump down to the bottom, and same thing. So on the sides of where your gate door is going to be, I'm just going to place my stone foundations. Then going to take my stone railings, go along the edges just like that. I'm then going to place stairs leading up to my gatehouse. And then I'm just going to add my gate doors, and I'm going to do this on both sides. And then I think last thing to do is to add our doors that are leading out onto the walls. And then if you want to add, you know, some of the windows or whatever, you can do that as well. But yeah, so with all that placed, that's going to complete the gatehouse portion of the tutorial. Alright, so now moving on to the castle keep. This might look like the most complicated portion of the build, but knowing everything that I just taught you previously in this video, it actually makes the keep design extremely simple, because essentially it's just a bunch of towers all connected with each other. It's going to be a bunch of different shapes, sizes, and heights. So if you want to mess around with, with a layout, you can just basically just throw down just a bunch of square foundations. And, for beginners, I just recommend just working with like square towers for the keep, because if you start, adding like rounded towers and stuff, it kind of throws the layout off a little bit. But round towers are definitely doable in a keep, but just for beginners, I would just stick strictly to like square and rectangular layouts. So yeah, so for example, we're just going to throw something together. So we're going to make, this is going to be a tower right here. This is going to be another rectangular tower. So this is going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be a 5 by, we'll make this a 5 by 5. Yep, okay. So that's going to be 5 by 5. We're then going to do an offset 3 by 3. Just like that. And, let's do another 3 by 3 over here. Then we'll just fill in all of this stuff. And that's going to be kind of like the base layout for our keep. So I'm going to jump ahead where it's actually built already, just so you get an idea of what this base could actually look like. All right, so this is the keep using the base design that I just ended up placing. So as you can see, I have different size and different heights for these towers. And like I said, essentially it's just a bunch of towers all meshed into one structure. So from here, so I got my stairs. If you remember back to the stair tutorial, so I got my stairs leading up. There's a landing, and then they go up to where the main door is, and the door is essentially kind of just a gatehouse. And then I have all the towers, and I ended up adding some extra windows in some of the larger towers, and then yeah, so I use the wall design for certain aspects. So essentially the keep is a little bit more than just a bunch of towers meshed together. I guess it's everything, the gatehouse, the stairs, the walls, the towers. I guess it's just kind of everything mashed into one structure. But yeah, so like this is the final version of the base design that I laid down. So like I said, it's not difficult once you have an idea of what you're doing, and it makes things extremely simple if you first place your base of your keep, because that'll essentially give you an idea of how everything's gonna kind of look once you're finished. Once you get your keep built up, there might be a couple of instances where you want to add on. So like for like right here, this back corner I think looks a little plain, so you can do things to kind of fill in like these empty areas. So I got this empty wall, and I want to add something to make it look a little better. So we're going to add kind of a supported structure branching off of the wall. So I'm going to start off, and we're going to go two pillars high. So 1, 2, and I'm just going to build out two stone beams. From here, I'm then going to place some more stone beams. I'm going to run these from the beams, and I'm going to run these pillars straight to the ground. I'm then going to build this up just one, because from here, I'm going to take these stone ceiling pieces. I'm just going to kind of fill that in. I'm going to jump around to the side and place another stone beam. And then I'm going to take stone walls, but I'm actually going to use these window pieces, and I'm going to rotate them so you can actually see like the wood and everything. I'm going to place those just like that. And then on this side is going to be a wall piece. And once again, I'm going to flip it around to where you can actually see like the wooden beams and everything. And then from here, I got the stone sloped wall. I'm going to place these here. And once again, those are also going to be rotated to where you can see the wooden beams and everything. I'm then going to take these stone roof pieces. I'm going to place those just like that. And I'm going to place one more stone beam on top of that. Now, I like to paint my roofs, so I'm going to jump to the spray gun. I'm just going to spray paint both of those sloped roofs. Now, from there, that's going to kind of do it for just like that supported structure on the outside of my build. Now, I could even do the same thing, but it not being, you know, supported from the ground. And if I want to elevate it a little bit higher up, so for example, let's add these stone ceiling pieces here. I'm still going to use these stone beam pieces, so we're just going to go around the edge of that. I'm then going to take a stone pillar. I'm going to build upwards. Like I said, just same thing. You know, it's going to essentially be the same structure, except we're not going to have the pillars that are supporting it from the ground. Then going to take the windows, flip those around where you can see the wood. Then going to place a wall. Then going to place the stone sloped walls. And let's see here. Got the stone roof. Do that on both sides. Add another stone beam. Now the only difference when it comes to this version, I'm going to take the stone sloped wall. I'm going to flip it to where it's inverted and it's running into the actual castle itself. And I'm just going to flip it so you can see the wood piece on that portion. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take stone stairs. And I'm going to connect them just like that to where they're actually running from the front portion of your structure, and you're going to run it right into the wall of the keep. So that's another way that you can build, you know, some structures that are kind of sticking out of your keep. And then, you know, last thing that you do is just paint the roof. And you don't have to paint the roof. I think it looks a little better, and you can make it any color you want. And then, you know, you could add some windows and everything. And actually, we're probably going to do that now. Yes, you can add some window pieces here. And yeah, that'll complete, I guess that's going to complete everything. So that's going to be the keep tutorial. I'm not going to jump inside and do like an interior design build, because ultimately that's up to your preference. So you can design the interior however, you know, you want to do it. So yeah, so with that said, that's going to complete the keep version of or the keep portion of this tutorial. Alright, so moving on to exterior detail, we're gonna pretend that this is an actual castle that's been like built up, and like this section right here is kind of like the courtyard, or the inside of like the castle walls and whatnot. And like this looks all right, but there's a couple things that you can do to kind of spice up and make it look a little better. So, you know, like the first thing, you can add like roads or pathways, you know, on the inside of the castle. And like to do that, I like to take these stone beams, and I want, you know, and I first kind of plot out like where the pathways would lead to, whether it's, you know, to stairs, doorways, or gates. And I just kind of draw with this stone beam areas where I think the pathway might be. So like, for example, this is going to be the pathway right here leading from the main gate. It's going to lead up to these stairs. So we're not going to place a stone beam here. However, place another one here. We also have to run a pathway over to this gate. So I'm just going to kind of run this over. We're going to kind of round it right here, because this pathway is going to be like 2 foundations or ceiling pieces wide. Then going to go over here. And I think the pathway from the main gate, that's going to lead over and around to this section. However, I think we can draw, yep, just right here. I think this will be not a non-pathway area, so let's kind of draw this around. And once you're kind of satisfied of where your pathway is going to be, you can then start filling in with thatch ceiling pieces or thatch foundations the non-pathway areas. So like, for example, so like right here and then right over here. Now, once you get done filling in like your thatch and you decide that, you know, there's an area where it's just kind of still dull, you could add in, you know, whether it's more structures or a stable or something along those sorts. So for example, for right here, this is a little barren to me. So we're going to add just like a quick stable, you know, to this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place pillars, and it's going to be right on the corner of these thatch pieces. I'm going to build them up 2 walls high. From here, I'm going to take stone ceilings, run a row across the top. I'm then going to take the stone beams. I'm going to run those across and connect all the pillars I just placed. And then from here, I got the stone sloped roof. Just going to place those right there. And with that being the roof, like I said, I like to paint my roof. So we're going to paint this scab coloring. All right, so now jump around to the inside. And then I'm going to place, see if I can find it. There we go. It's going to be the quarter wall piece, but I'm going to cycle through to where it's the wooden railing. And I'm just going to put wooden railings, just kind of separating each individual stall. So now we have to build a path leading up to that stable area. So same thing applies. Going to be using the stone beam. We're going to be drawing it over to where our stalls are at. And I'm actually going to delete these stone beam pieces because we're going to replace these thatch pieces with more stone ceilings as kind of like a pathway. Now from here, I like to paint the actual thatch pieces green to make it kind of sort of look like grass or cut grass or something. So there's a couple of different good colors. Swamp is kind of good. That might be a little too dark, you know, for some builds. So I end up like using, let's see. Yeah, I like using the grass coloring. So I'm going to go back through and I'm actually going to paint all of my thatch ceiling pieces. All right, once those are painted, like I said, it kind of gives a decent look of kind of like a pathway leading through, you know, the interior or whatever of your castle. Now, jumping to the outside, if you're building a castle like on the water or something and you want to add some kind of dock or whatnot, these are pretty simple. So let's pretend that this gatehouse leads out to like a portion of your build that you want to make like docks or whatnot. All you do is you add your stone ceilings. And once your stone ceilings are placed, and you want to get to like the dock portion of it, I just like to extend outwards. You know, I'll just pick a spot. We'll extend that out. And you can only extend it out 3 ceiling pieces from a support. But then you just take stone pillars and you connect them to the corners. And you're able to extend further out. And you can add however many docks that you want. So we'll just add one more just so you guys kind of get the idea here. And then I also, when it comes to like docks that you're building out, like especially over the water, when it comes to like corners and stuff as well, I'll add more pillar support. And these are made of stone. If you think like the wooden ones look better, definitely go with, with whatever you prefer. But like I said, docks are super simple. Keep that in mind. That's something that could spice up your build if you're building over the water. But yeah, so with that stuff built, that's going to complete the exterior detailed portion of the tutorial. Alright, so last up in the tutorial is going to be the design for your castle layout. Now, I originally was going to put this at the start of the video, but I decided to hold off and put it at the end because I wanted to at least show you how everything was built first to give you a better idea of how to go about designing your castle. Now, as far as designing it, there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about doing it. My favorite way is using the state-of-the-art program. It's called Microsoft Paint, and I have like a grid-based system set up, and all I have to do is just individually color certain tiles with different colors, and that will signify different parts of the castle, whether it's walls, towers, gates, docks, the keep, roads, whatever the case may be. You just simply throw something together real quick, and you can modify it until you get something you're satisfied with. And once you're done with that, you just take it and you just throw it over into Arc. And basically, the way I look at it is each individual tile would technically be a foundation piece or a ceiling piece in Arc. So if you stick to the grid, and this only works, or this instance only works with square like foundations and ceiling pieces. If you wanted to get a little bit more advanced and use like the wedge pieces to form more rounded walls or rounded towers, this system is not going to really work for you. Now, I'm not saying that can't be done, because if you do decide to go that route, it's a little bit more advanced and things get a little wonky to where things won't line up or connect properly. But there is, it is doable. And I ended up putting together a Conan Exiles asymmetrical castle tutorial where I explain how to go about doing that. And I know that that's a different game, but the mechanics work pretty much the same. So if that's something you're interested in doing, and in putting together a more complicated castle build, definitely give that video a watch. I'll include a link to that down in the description. So going back to just a basic castle using this grid-based system, I'm going to throw together something just real fast, just to give you an idea of what it could look like, and then you can go from there. So give me 1 second here. Alright, so something just like this. It's that simple. You just paint the tiles. Everything, each color signifies a certain thing. So, I got black, that will be the walls, towers, the keep. Red is like gateways through the walls. I got the gray for the pathways, green for the grass. Orange could be like a structure. That could, this could be like a stable or something. And like I said, if there's something you're not satisfied with and you want to change it up, you can just erase stuff. You can add stuff. So for example, maybe this is built out kind of sort of on the water, so I want to turn this portion, into a dock of some sort. So I can just paint stuff in just like this. And then let's say that I'm still not satisfied with it, so I'm just going to take a couple of things out, and then, like, for example, this might be something that I decide, this is the route I want to go. Like I said, you just take this design and just mimic it in game, and each tile would be a ceiling or foundation piece. It'd be that simple. So yeah, so I think that's everything that I got for you guys in this tutorial. I appreciate you guys sticking around with me until the end. If you like this content and you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing that, because that definitely helps me out, helps the channel out. I'd definitely appreciate it. But I think I'm going to leave you guys with a showcase of a castle that I threw together using everything that I taught in this tutorial. So yeah, with that said, I'm just going to hop right over to the showcase.